You know, in the world of digital downloads, you can find a guide for pretty much anything, and that now includes a child's mental well-being. So today, we're doing a digital unboxing of a popular kids therapy bundle from Etsy to see what's actually inside. Is it just a bunch of worksheets, or is there something more going on here? Let's find out. So right off the bat, you see this really powerful promise. It's not just talking about activities. It's using big words like positivity and resilience. That kind of language really speaks directly to the hopes and maybe the worries of parents and educators who are looking for real, practical ways to support the kids in their lives. Okay, so before we start digging into the actual PDF, let's just zoom out a little bit. What is this digital promise all about, according to the seller? What are you actually supposed to be getting? Well, the full title is definitely a mouthful, but it's also a pretty good roadmap. It tells you right away this isn't just one thing. Nope, it's a whole collection of tools that covers a huge range, from general life skills all the way to more specific things like ADHD planning and even CBT or cognitive behavioral therapy tools.
And here's a really key detail you gotta know. This is not something that shows up in your mailbox. It's an instant digital download. The second you buy it, bam, you get a single PDF file. It's all about immediate access, which, let's be honest, is a huge part of the appeal for a lot of people.
All right, now for the main event. Let's see what's actually inside this PDF. The seller breaks the whole bundle down into 6 different tools, so let's go ahead and unpack them one by one. First up, we've got a gratitude planner. Now, this is a pretty classic tool from the world of positive psychology, but the key here is that it's been designed specifically for a younger audience. So the idea is simple. Make gratitude a habit. Instead of it being this big, abstract idea, the planner tries to break it down into these little, daily, bite-sized moments of appreciating the small stuff. Building on that whole idea of positive thinking, the second tool is a growth mindset workbook. This one kind of shifts the focus from appreciating what's happening now to building confidence for whatever comes next. And the big emphasis here is on making this whole concept fun. The seller points out that the workbook uses exercises and creative tasks to turn this idea of a growth mindset into something a kid can actually do and have fun with. Okay, so from that internal self-belief, the bundle then starts to look outward and focuses on interpersonal skills. So tool number 3 is all about building and keeping healthy relationships. And this really shows you how practical the guide wants to be. It's not just about telling kids, hey, be nice. It's about giving them the actual words for it, focusing on those key skills like empathy, kindness, and communication. The fourth tool tackles something that, let's face it, affects every single other part of life: sleep hygiene. It might sound kind of basic, but the seller presents it as a really crucial pillar for a child's overall well-being. I mean, that description is short, but it's powerful. It draws a straight line between the quality of a kid's sleep and their ability to regulate their mood, which is a huge part of emotional health that can sometimes get overlooked. The fifth tool gets right to the heart of what resilience is all about: a coping skill toolbox. This part is designed to be a super practical set of strategies for when kids are dealing with tough emotions. So the goal here is to give children this personal toolkit that they can turn to when they're feeling stressed out. The listing really emphasizes that these strategies are made easy to understand with simple instructions and kid-friendly pictures, so they're easy to use when they're needed most. And finally, the 6th tool in the bundle focuses on a skill that's famously difficult for all of us, but especially for kids: impulse control. The key word to notice here is playful. Instead of some boring lecture on why you should have self-control, this section tries to teach it through games and fun activities, which can make the whole learning process almost invisible. Okay, so we've seen what's inside the bundle. Now let's switch gears and talk about the deal itself: the price, who's selling it, and of course, the fine print. Probably one of the first things you're going to notice on the listing is the price. It's shown with a massive markdown, from an original price of over £21 down to just over $5, advertised as a 75% discount. So who's behind this whole bundle? The shop is called Therapeutic Treasure, and they're based in the US. When we looked, they had close to 400 sales and a reputation for responding to messages pretty quickly, which are usually good signs of an active and engaged seller. And here it is, maybe the most important piece of the fine print. Because it's an instant download, the sale is final. The listing is super clear that once you buy it, there are no returns, no exchanges, and no cancellations. Okay, so we've unboxed the tools, we've looked at the deals, so what's the core takeaway? When you put it all together, what is this bundle really trying to offer? When you really boil it all down, it comes back to these four key promises. The goal is to use these interactive tools to build a solid foundation of life skills and emotional intelligence, all to support a child's mental well-being right from an early age, right? And all of this leads to a really fascinating question. I mean, this bundle promises a lot, right? It's packaging some pretty complex psychological tools into a single, very affordable PDF. It really makes you wonder, could a single PDF really hold the key tools for a child's emotional well-being? And could this be the future of making these kinds of resources more accessible for kids everywhere? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for watching.